Praise be Jesus Christ. Today we celebrate the memorial of 4 Franciscan Martyrs, Blessed John Francis Burte, Apollinaris Morel, Severin Girault, and John Baptist Triquerie, who are 4 martyrs of the French Revolution, that bloody revolution which rejected God and really, we can say, religion as a whole. The 4 martyrs, like many other priests and secular and religious, were told that they had to take the oath, the schismatic oath of 1791, which again was a practical denial of their faith. And intrepid before their persecutors, they refused to take the oath, and then, of course, were sent to the guillotine. And in reflecting on the lives of these martyrs and their final act of heroic faith in the face of their persecutors, we call to mind that that faith is a virtue. And just like all of the other virtues, it can grow by repeating the acts and can grow to a heroic degree. But like all of the other virtues, faith as well can diminish, can decrease if we don't perform those acts of faith to the point of losing it. Now we see in the lives of these martyrs that they didn't come to their final act of faith, that is, the willingness, the disposition to shed their blood in witness to the truth of the Catholic faith all at once. But it was by the continuous repetition of the acts during their lives. And we see that the problem today, the great loss of faith that we notice in Europe, and also we could say here, the Catholic Church in the U.S., is a result that we aren't living according to the faith. If we insist on contracepting in our marriages, then eventually we are going to lose faith we will lose what the faith teaches us about the meaning of marriage. Above all, that it's a sacramental bond, indissoluble. And as a result of loss of faith in that, we will then have widespread divorce. And isn't that exactly what we see? If we're negligent about going to Mass on Sunday, and by our own fault we just miss out on a Sunday here and there, eventually we'll come to start thinking, well, I can still be a good Christian and not go to Mass on Sunday. And isn't that what we see here in the U.S.? 25% of Catholics go to Mass on Sunday. If we continue to receive Holy Communion in the state of mortal sin, we will eventually lose our faith in the real presence of Christ in the Blessed Sacrament. And isn't this what we see? And it's precisely for this reason that Archbishop Burke has recently issued his first warning as prefect of the Apostolic Signatura that all of those who distribute Holy Communion are obliged to deny Holy Communion to pro-abortion Catholic politicians. Why? Why does the Archbishop come out with this pronouncement? It's not because he's mean-spirited or ill-willed. No, he's good-willed. He wants to preserve the faith in the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. This is just one of the reasons that he mentioned why he made this recent warning. And so we see that France, this nation of France that was once called the first daughter of the Church, has lost its faith. France that gave birth to such great saints as St. Vincent de Paul, St. Therese of the Child Jesus, St. John Vianney, now is the worst country as far as vocations to the priesthood go. Thinking of large Christian countries, France is in dead last as far as vocations to the priesthood. France, which has the great grace and honor of being visited by our Blessed Mother at La Salette, at Lourdes, and then the recently approved apparition of Laos, now says that religious priests cannot wear clerical garb or habits in government building or public schools. So we see how France has lost its faith. It calls to mind the saying of our Lord, "Woe to you, Bethsaida! Woe to you, Chorazin!" Perhaps now we can say, "Woe to you, France! For if the signs that were worked in you were worked in Sodom and Gomorrah, they would have repented long ago." A nation like France, given such blessings, all the great saints and these Marian apparitions, now having lost her faith. So each and every one of us, we should be on our guard to always put our faith into practice so as not to lose it. As always, to exercise our faith and to bring it to a heroic degree like the martyrs we honor today. And of course, we want to ask these holy martyrs for their intercession, and we also should pray for France, that she will one day recover her faith and become once again the first daughter of the Church. Praise be Jesus Christ.
Fructum ventris tuum.